Hello everyone and happy Thursday. I am Elle and I'm going to be discussing today the status of my week in my art studio. So as you can see behind me, I have kind of started the Imogene painting, at least I think that's how they say her name. I'm recreating a painting and I'm going to do another coat on this today. I'm still working on my mermaid painting. She's not ready to be shown yet, but that's kind of where I am there. I haven't been as motivated to paint this week because I've been working on my children's book and I've been working on my graphic novel. So let me grab some illustrations real quick. I don't know if you can see. So here are a couple of illustrations from the children's book. They're kind of, not that one. That one's just a fun graphic, but here's an illustration from the children's book. And I'm coloring those now and trying to get them to a state where they look good. I am getting better at the graphic art, the digital art rather, and hopefully I can piece it together and it looks like something somebody wants to read. So the other project that I'm working on is my Leading Lady series. So originally I published them in these tiny little like flash in the pan graphic novels. There was this one, there was this one, the third one, number 4, and number 5. These were made rather quickly and I was just trying to get them out and get them in front of people, and they sold okay at comic conventions, and I sold some on Etsy too and it did really well. As far as my distribution wasn't very good, so as far as I distributed it, it did really well. So I figured if I repackaged it and put it on Amazon Marketplace or those kind of places, I think it's called KDP, I could publish it to more people, get it in front of more people, and it might do better. But it would be a good first book because it is my first book. And the story is interesting. The art isn't fantastic, but it's where I was at the time, and it's a good starting place. I do want to continue the story, and the only way I can continue the story is if I do publish the original. And I don't want to redraw it because I don't think that's fair. If you make art, that's where you are at that time. I embraced the suck at that moment, and I did my best at that moment. And I don't particularly want to go back to the beginning when I did it the first time, and it was what it was. It's still, in my opinion, a good story, and art carries you through. It's clear to what's happening in the story, and the characters, I think you can connect with them. People have definitely connected with them and they like the book, so I have had feedback that's positive. So why go and recreate it if it's already got some sort of traction? So that's the books, and I'm going to publish them all as one with their front covers just as like their chapter covers. And this cover will stay the same because I do think it captures the art that you're going to see in the graphic novel as well as the main character, and also it captures kind of the feel that I wanted to have, kind of like a gritty feel to the graphic novel. So what I've been doing is I've been taking each page and editing it. And like, for example, this first page, I've been cleaning up the margins and changing the text so it's easier to read. That's pretty much what I've been doing, and it's a tedious job, but I think that if I clean up the spelling, because my spelling is something I struggle with, but if I clean that up, I'll be able to make something that's more presentable. I think it'll make it easier to read. Also, there's some continuity errors. So I found the main character, she's a stripper, and you know, a lot of times when girls go to the club, they change their hair, and she's a mixed race girl, and her hair is natural, you know, in the book, but when she's on stage, I had her wearing a blonde wig. However, my art skills were not good enough to keep the continuity of her face. So it's very hard to tell that it's still her. And I can do one of two things. I can write a blurb that says, you know, when Brandy is on stage, she wears a wig, or I can go and just change her hair to her natural hair. And I think what I'm going to do is change her hair to her natural hair, because it'll be very quick and easy to see that that's Brandy dancing and she's in the club and she's, you know, interacting with the patrons and stuff like that. So those are the kind of changes that I need to make. And once those are completed, then I'll be able to finish getting it ready to go up online. My goal is to start writing the sequel. And I really struggle with this because there's a lot of different directions I want the story to go in. And there's another graphic novel that I have written that I kind of would like them to overlap. That would be nice if they were in the same universe. But I don't know exactly how that would happen. I still have some ideas knocking around in my head. I know how Leading Lady is going to end. I've always known the ending to Leading Lady, but I don't know its sister story, and I feel like I need to write its sister story out, and then I can find a place where they cross over, and then I can go ahead and write those little adventures that they go on. So this is like an origin story, and then from the origin story I want to have lots of, like, you know, adventures that they go on, and then one final story that's the culminating end. But even if I write the end, I could still write adventure stories, because, you know, they could have gone on unlimited adventures and met unlimited obstacles and fought unlimited bad guys and, you know, that kind of thing. It's a superhero kind of story, but it's told through the lens of a couple of girls who have a tumultuous relationship. And I don't know. I really like this story. It's the first one I've written and finished, and of course illustrated, and it means a lot to me. And I wonder if it means more to me than it's actually worth, which I think is an insecurity a lot of people have with their stories. So I know I'm not alone in it, but I think, I don't know. I think it's going to do well just because it did well at Comic-Con and it did well on Etsy. And again, the distribution on those two places is really minor. It's not like I sold a ton of copies, but I can say I've sold quite a few copies, and, you know, the people who read it loved it. So yeah, so that's where I am this week. I've gotten one illustration done completely for my kids' book, and I just really want to say, like, the art that's being made these days, like on AI, is insane. And I know there's a lot of art theft that's behind it. I don't use it. I do my own stuff. Being an artist is what's most important to me. Writing stories is secondary. But it is insane, and it's really hard to compete, because I mean, I know I have talent, but my talent is nothing compared to other people's. And if you can just quickly make a book out of nothing, how insane is that? Like, that's so insane to me. Just going on Canva and pulling off art and making your own book. I mean, and nobody can tell the difference. Like, they can't, like, the average person can't tell the difference between this clip art style of creating your own book versus somebody who's drawn it and gone in and colored it and really given it a lot of love and attention and created original characters and, you know, wrote a story that, you know, has some sort of merit. It's like, it's hard to tell, and I can't tell, and I'm looking really closely, and even though they tell me they just made it in Canva, I can't tell. it's like the AI is just taking over, and it's a little bit scary. But I just hope that what I'm creating has enough integrity that it will rise above the craziness that's going on with AI and people just pumping out kids' books and flooding the market with trash. I hope that it stands apart, and I really stand behind my drawings. I think that they're really, really cute, and my kids enjoy them, and my kids' friends enjoy them. So those are your beta readers when you're doing kids' books, and if they enjoy it, then you've got something decent on your hands. So anyway, that's a week in review. I'm going to continue working on this painting right here and hopefully turn that into something. So next week you should see at least more distinct blobs, and you can kind of tell what's going on. I don't know what's going on with this painting. There's a reference for this painting. There's a reference for most of my paintings. But this one is purely out of my head, and I have lost my vision for what I wanted her to be, and I need to find a new vision and work off that vision. So until it comes to me, I don't think I'm going to work on her anymore. I know I want to add some fish, but I still haven't finished up her skin. I haven't added the details to her body. Again, I don't know what I want her to really look like. So it's the mess. Anyway, that's what's going on in my studio this week. And if you have any questions or you want to get your hands on the original, I still have some originals of this left. I can repost it on Etsy. If you want a copy, I'll sell them as a bundle because they're all done. And you can grab a copy of this. It's a fun read. It's a quick read. But I would, hold out for when it comes out finished, because it's going to be a lot better when the spelling errors are mostly gone and it's easier to read because I'm fixing some of the typography and when I fix some of the continuity errors. So anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good day.